Hello everyone, it's Aislinn here. Welcome back to my channel if you are returning, and welcome if you are new. This is going to be kind of my mid-year update video because we are now into June. So I'm just going to kind of run down all the crafting stuff that I have been working on since January, and yeah, and then at the very end I'll kind of get into maybe some future goals. Let's start off with non-cross-stitch stuff because it's the least of the stuff that I have. So I have picked up and been working on and off on Sashiko. I am working my way through the book 365 Days of Sashiko, which is actually upstairs by my chair in front of the TV. Basically, when we're watching hockey or something, or we got a family movie night, I've been picking up some Sashiko. So I'll just run through the ones I've got here. I think I've got 11 or 12. I think there's 11 here right now. And usually I can get like 1 or 2 done in a night. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with these yet. They're all on linen. I'm probably going to do either a pillow or a couple pillows or a quilt or something out of them. I'm not sure. I'm not going to get through the whole book this year. I know that. I mean, I do hope to get through all the patterns. Oops. At some point, but I know that's not going to happen this year because I'm not doing like one a day. A lot of these still have to be ironed. I've washed them, but I haven't ironed them yet. So I'm trying to stick kind of with the same sort of color theme, as you can tell by looking at these. Almost to the end here. Oh, that's another one I got sideways. I don't think the orientation really matters with a lot of these, but I am trying to show them in the way that they are orientated in the book. This one's probably one of my favorite. It was a pain in the butt to do, but I love this pattern. And then finally, that one. Like I said, a lot of that still has to be ironed. I have also been slowly working on the granny squares for a granny square cardigan that I want to do. I think I have done three or four since I last showed the stack off, but there we are. I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 here, and then I have one started over actually on my bedside because I have been stitching on this one while sitting in bed, usually while listening to an audiobook or watching a video. I got back into some diamond painting, but so I picked up one of my smaller Amazon projects, one of my older projects. I don't know what I'm going to do with it when I'm done. As typical with Amazon kits, they're kind of blurry. Actually, this one on camera is not looking that bad, but in person, it's very blurry. But yeah, I've just been enjoying plugging away on that, here and there. And I think I have already showed all these off on video, but I'm going to show them again. This is my 2025 quilt. And my goal was to have 2 of these done a month, but I have gotten behind. I haven't even drawn for June yet. And I still have to stitch April and May. But I do have a small handful of these done. Little border ones, at least some of the little border ones. And these are randomized patterns and randomized colors. Just using dice and a pickup jar. And these lovely little quilt block cards, and I'll get into the April and May's here in a minute that I haven't stitched, but I'll show you the patterns. my goal is still hopefully to have this one done by the end of the year. But if it's not, I'm not stressing too much about it. This is more for fun. And then my big one, which I don't even know if I can show all on camera. There we go. And that is it for blocks I have finished. Now I did have blocks 75 and 106 still to do. These were April's. 75 was in blue, brown, and yellow or gold. 106 is in pink or magenta, black or gray, beige, orange, and white or cream. And then in May, I had block 65 and 77. 65 is in pink, magenta, turquoise or teal, and purple. And then block 77 is in black or gray, purple, yellow or gold, orange, turquoise or teal, and brown, because I need multicolors. So those I have not stitched yet, and I have not rolled or anything for June yet. Like I said, June I've just kind of more or less taken off from crafting and filming it and trying to set goals and stuff. I'm just working on what I feel like, working on when I feel like working on it. And trying not to make too much of a mess to clean up later. I am working on another quilt, which is the Dresden Bloom quilt. I'll put a link to the pattern down below. And this one is, I actually hope to have it finished this summer, because it will be a quilt for charity, and it needs to be ready for auction in the fall. But so far for now, I have one side done. And I do have the other 3 corner pieces done. I just have to finish putting it together and doing up the last border and batting binding and all of that loveliness. So that one is basically done. I should be able to publish that out long before it has to be submitted for the auction date. And that is just through our local Classic Car Club. It is their charity. They do a lot of local charity work. So it's going to go to them. Okay, now for cross stitching, the one I'm sure you've all been waiting for, because that's how most of you have found my channel. First, and I will put pictures up. So first project, and kind of my only non-WIPGO project, is the Heart of Canada. And this is where I started at the beginning of the year. And here is where I've got to. So I am trying to stitch this one by color. So I have chosen the color that has the most stitches, which is 3823. And basically I'm going to stitch the whole pattern, all the 3823, and then I will go to the next color on the list and down, 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 down until the final color. Now for my WIPGO projects, and these are in no particular order because I have mostly forgotten the order they go in. I don't want to go look it up. But we have, is that the correct? Yeah, that is the correct orientation. Fire Opal. This is the pattern. And this is what it looked like when I started it before WIPGO. My goal is 5 days of stitching each on these, and if I put as little as 10 stitches in, I consider that a day. So some of these have a little bit more done than others depending on when I was able to stitch on it. Oh my goodness. You know, I thought I had all these in the right orientation. before I filmed. Apparently not. So then one of my other whip goes was Dark Queen of the Earth. Here is where it is. Here's what the pattern looks like when it is done. I am going to do some of the customizations and options in this pattern because there was like different hair colors and that were chosen, different face structures when I get to that point. And this is what it looked like when I started. This one was a Dimensions kit called Simple Treasures. That is where it got to. Once again, this is the picture of the pattern when it's completed. This is where I started. This one is, I can't remember the name of this one, but it is another Dimensions pattern. I think it's called something like Violin Elegance or something. But here's where we got to. And once again, this is the pattern when it is done. And this is where I started. Then I have this Zelda pattern. Once again, pattern what it'll look like when it's done, where I started, and finally where I got to. Now I did actually have to tear a bunch of these flowers out and restitch them. Initially I had a metallic thread in here, but it made the flowers look very gray and I hated it. So I swapped it out for DMC Light Effects white, and I love it much better. I actually really enjoyed stitching on that one, and I keep wanting to go back to it, so that might get some work on it more this month if I feel like it. All right, how many do I have left? 3. Okay. So this one is Home in the Mountains. I call it Rivendell on my spreadsheet because it's easier for me to remember, but this is a Golden Kite kit. Or Golden Kite pattern, sorry, I kitted it myself. Here is the pattern, and here's where I started. And this is the center start for me. It is very big, it is very bulky. I hope to have it in front of my fireplace when it is all done. The fireplace I have yet to install in this basement, but will be installed hopefully in the next year or two. And this is where I ended up. Oh, I don't know if that's all. Is that all? No, not quite. There we go. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, I'll have to fold that up better after. All right, and then I have, this is Victorian Manor, I think it's called. This is the pattern when it's completed. This is another Dimensions kit. This is where I started, and here's where I got to. This is another one I have a lot of fun stitching on, but it is primarily my Halloween stitch. So I did stitch on it for Whip Go, but it's probably not going to come out until Halloween again. Excuse me. Dry throat. Okay, and then last but not least, and this one will eventually be a gift for my mother. This is a butterfly cross. This is the pattern here, though I did get the no background version because I wanted to use my own dyed fabric. This is where I started. And this is where I have got to. So that is it. That is it. That is all I have worked on since January. And I will see you guys in the next update, which hopefully will be at the end of the month, to kind of show you what I worked on in June. All right, bye. Okay, so this is future Aislinn. Still wearing the same shirt, but we are the next morning, and I was getting the video ready for filming, and I realized I missed some stuff. So just for the sake of having a comprehensive video. I'm going to show you these last few things. This has been probably my largest project I've been working on, and it is a corner-to-corner blanket of the Canadian flag, which if I can get it going the right way, which will go on my couch when it is done. And there is where we are. I've kind of just started in on the white. I think it's 3 more rows. I start on the maple leaf. I'm really enjoying this one. Again, it just kind of sits by my chair upstairs when I feel like doing some crochet, and I've been plugging away at it. And then I started, this was a different shawl, but I didn't like the way that one was working up, and I didn't really like the pattern. So I, on this particular yarn, which is a sheep cheese whirl yarn, so I found a more simple pattern that I think will really show the color changes better. I ripped the old one all out and I restarted it, so I have this little shawl started. And this is the one I take to work, so not getting too much progress, but it is the one that sits in my purse because it's nice and tiny. Literally, that's all I need. I take it to work and I work on it on my breaks and my lunch. And then for stitching, I have been working on this puff blanket, which I have all cut up. I just have to fill all the little puffs and put them in their rows. I do find this a little bit more of a difficult quilt to work on, just because I find the puffs, they don't like to go under my machine. Yeah, so basically I have rows and rows, and that's what it's looking like. And the plan for that will be, it will be a blanket my dogs can lay on. I do have more of that fabric if I have to cut more to add rows. I'm cut enough for the size I think I want, but I can always add rows before I finish it if I need to. But it will go down for my dogs to lay on when it all is said and done. And then next, I have a models kind of diorama that I'm working on for the characters of Hazbin Hotel. And I haven't glued them all together, so they look kind of weird. And the paint job, it's in ugly phase, but I've got a model for Lucifer, the devil in that show, playing his golden violin, which hopefully will be all like that. As well as Alistair, the radio demon, which if you haven't watched that show and you like musicals, I probably recommend it. It's pretty good. So that is more or less how he's going to go together. And then I will be putting them on, this is just a free STL I got. They're going to go on like this summoning circle, and I hope to have some glow effects in the characters' primary magic colors. So for Lucifer, that will be red and gold, and for Alistair, that'll be neon green. So I don't know how it's going to work out. I'm very new to model painting. I've done a couple little ones, but this is kind of my first sort of diorama, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, so that's the plan with those, and I'm like 100% now. Pretty sure I've gone through everything I've been working on since January. Some of this stuff, like these models, I actually started at the very end of December. So I haven't been completely in January, but I don't have any starting photos. So I don't really know where I left off at the end of December. Puff Blanket is new, and the Canada Corner to Corner is new. So no starting photos for those because they were new starts in the last few months. So yeah, that's it. I am definitely going to go get this editing now because this video is going to be long enough as it is. And I will see you guys in the next video, which will be whenever the next update is.